Lesson 69 deals with volume of cones, spheres, and pyramids. Yesterday you dealt with surface area of these figures. Surface area was a unit squared, an area is squared. Volume is units cubed. Basically it's the capacity on the inside of the solid object. Each one of the shapes you'll have a formula to use. You just need to be sure that you use the right criteria. So for instance, for a cone you have volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. H represents height. You want to use the inside height today because we're talking about the volume that is on the inside. S, remember, represents the slant height that was found on the surface, hence surface area. Example 1, you're given a figure here. Notice it doesn't say that you have to write in terms of pi, so you can actually go ahead and do all your computation here for this example anyway. I always find it beneficial to start off by writing out that formula that you need to use, and we need to use the volume formula for a cone. My formula, volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Put in the values we know. I substituted the values in for r, my radius, which is 2. It gives us the diameter of 4. And then I put in the height there, 12. So now you can go ahead and do all your computation, multiply everything together, because it doesn't say to write in terms of pi. And after our computation, we find out that our volume is approximately, after rounding, 50.3 centimeters cubed. Example 2, the only difference there is we don't have that geometric figure there. So they give it to us in words. Substitute into the equation. There's the formula for finding the volume of a cone. We know that the volume is 1/3 times pi times our radius squared. Our radius is 9 centimeters, so I'll put in 9 and square it, and we have a height of 18. Go ahead and do all your computation, and we find out that the volume is approximately 1,526.8 centimeters cubed. Moving on to our next figure, the sphere, volume of sphere. Volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, r representing radius. Notice in example 3 it says find the volume and leave your answer in terms of pi. So we won't multiply pi into it. We'll just leave it in terms of pi. Start out by using the formula. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Substitute the values that we know. And in for our radius there, we need to substitute in 11 and make sure we cube that. Now we're writing this in terms of pi, so my answer, I can go ahead and take 11, cube it, multiply by 4/3, and I would get 1,774.7 times pi. That would be your answer in relationship to pi, and this would be yards cubed. Example 4, no geometric figure or diagram here. Again, leave your answer in terms of pi. We're solving for a sphere, so start out with that formula. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. In for our radius, as mentioned above, it says that our diameter is 8 centimeters. We need our radius, so we'll split that, and the radius would be 4. Make sure we cube it. Remember, our volume answer is going to be written in terms of pi, so 4 cube it times 4/3. We have 85.3 times pi centimeters cubed. The last figure that we'll do is the volume of the rectangular pyramid. This is volume equals 1/3 times length times width times height. Length and width are the length and width of the base. So basically, length and width there with a rectangle or a square, doesn't matter the type of pyramid. Basically what's happening is you're finding the area of the base. I almost like to write this formula as 1/3 times big B times H. The big B represents area of base. So you're going to find the base. And the base describes what type of pyramid it is, if it's a rectangular or a square pyramid. So 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. And reminder that height that we want to use is on the inside because we're dealing with volume, not a slant height. Example 5, we'll find the volume, and this is a square pyramid because we see that the base is 11 by 11. Notice it says round our answer to the nearest tenth. So we'll go ahead and start out with the formula. Volume equals 1/3. And if you wanted to keep it as length times width times height, just remember length and width. We know that is talking about the base there. Substitute in values that we know. And the length of that base is 11. The width of that base is 11. And the height that we need to use is that internal height there because we're talking volume, and that is 7 feet. Go ahead and do your computation there. Remember, you're rounding that your answer to the tenth as mentioned. So when we round here, we should wind up with about 282.3 feet cubed. 6, find the volume of a rectangular pyramid again. They give us the height of 5 centimeters and measuring 4 by 7 across the base. So we have a rectangular pyramid here. Start out with the formula. Next, we'll go ahead and sub in values that we know. And a length and width is talking about the area of the base. So we'll have 4 by 7. And that height measures 5 centimeters. Again, we'll go ahead and round this answer to the nearest tenth, and we find out that the volume is approximately 46.7 centimeters cubed. This will conclude lesson 69, volume.